Procrastination is not real. Here's why. So, over the past few days, I've posted all these YouTube videos about how to beat procrastination, all these different techniques, these different strategies you can use. And I've also done a bunch of research on just procrastination, this idea of delaying work for some reason by doing enjoyable activities like scrolling on your phone, playing video games, stuff like that. And the thing is, we love talking about procrastination. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's such a great word. People, love talking about how to beat it. People love talking about how it's affecting them. And you can see this like all over the internet. Like, for example, I'm not calling on anybody out. This is one of my own Instagram reels, so I'm kind of guilty of this myself. But like, here's a reel that shows POV, you're procrastinating on studying even though exams are tomorrow. And so people can relate to this. Like, this reel got a bunch of people in the comments saying, yeah, I can relate to this. I'm literally in this exact position right now and stuff like that. Not to mention, we can see on stuff like X and Threads, people say stuff like this all the time. Gonna try to do some work, but we'll see if procrastination gets the best of me, lol. People talk about procrastination as if it's just like something that's a part of them, basically. It's just something that's going to happen regardless. Atomic Habits by James Clear, the iconic book about how to break any bad habit and build good ones. One thing James Clear talks about this in that book is this idea of outcomes, processes, and identity. So basically, everybody tries to shift their habits by changing the outcomes. Like, they say, I want to, lose 10 pounds. I want to get 100 subscribers on YouTube. They just focus on the outcomes. Meanwhile, what they really need to be focusing on is the processes and the identity. The processes are like the habits they're doing every day. Like, if you're trying to lose weight, how many times are you exercising? What foods are you eating? If you're trying to build subscribers on YouTube, how many videos are you posting? How good are the videos? And your identity is just what they specifically believe about themselves. And here's an example of that right down here. You might have one person saying, I'm a smart person. This is just what this person believes about themselves. Another person might say, I'm a disciplined person. Again, it's just something that's core to their identity that they believe. And then you have a third person that just says, I'm a procrastinator. That's kind of similar to the posts like on X and Threads that I was talking about up here. People, they just believe that procrastination is something that it's just who they are. They are a procrastinator. They procrastinate. They're not disciplined. They're not smart. They're a person who delays work to extreme amounts. This basically shows what the problem is. It's not that you're procrastinating. It's that you view yourself as a procrastinator. You view yourself as a lazy person. And this causes these problems to occur. So when I say procrastination isn't real, it's just this idea that people have kind of created in their minds for something that they do, something that they are, when in reality, maybe it's not true at all. Maybe they just have conditioned themselves to believing this. So really, procrastination is just all in your mind. You believe you're a procrastinator when in reality, that may not be true at all. So let's talk about how to fix this. I want to always provide a solution in these videos rather than just saying some random problems and not giving any advice. First way to beat procrastination is through mindset. This is probably the harder way of the two I'm going to describe. But what this means is just you have all these subconscious thoughts, and then you have outside here all your conscious thoughts. So these are the thoughts that you consciously think of, like, I'm going to go to work today, or you think I'm going to eat this for lunch. It's just the thoughts that you can feel in your mind, basically. And after you think a thought enough times, it becomes a subconscious thought. So it's just something you believe about yourself. So for example, if you procrastinate, or if you say I'm going to procrastinate all the time, like there's people on the X and Threads posts, eventually it's just going to be enough in your conscious mind to eventually seep into your subconscious mind. And you're just going to build this identity of being a procrastinator. The solution obviously is just think more positive conscious thoughts. Don't think of yourself as a procrastinator. Instead, think, I'm a good person. I'm someone who gets stuff done and, does hard things that most people would not do. That's just who I am. And eventually you're just going to believe that you are a person who is disciplined, you're smart, you're motivated. That's just who you are. But this is hard to do because it takes a lot of effort over a lot of time, and you can't just automatically do it. So that's why I'd recommend this other method that James Clear explains in his book. So he talks about the outcomes, the processes, and the identity, focusing on the processes. So an example from this is that I'm studying a STEM field in school, and I used to just have this belief in my mind that I'm so bad at chemistry specifically. I just thought, I'm terrible at this. I'll never get the hang of this. And my grades kind of showed it because I would get these problems wrong that just I should not have been getting wrong. And so it just reinforced this idea I was bad at chemistry. But over this past summer, I actually had to take an online chemistry lab. It's this wild thing where you have to do these experiments on your own with nobody to help you. So I was just mixing these stuff, doing this stuff that you should only be doing in a lab, to be completely honest with you, but I was doing it at home. And as I did more and more of it, I just got through these lab assignments and I just started realizing this actually wasn't that hard. I actually kind of am good at chemistry. In fact, I'm great at chemistry. And I just did it, just doing so all these lab experiments convinced me that I can do this. I do have the potential to do this just because I changed what I was doing. I just built up this evidence that I could be someone who is good at chemistry. And now, to be honest with you, I actually view myself as someone who is great at science and chemistry and everything in that regard, which is just awesome. I just changed my mindset through doing different actions every day. So if you want to implement this, try to take some of these simple techniques like I talk about in this video about how to beat procrastination. There are literally 18 different methods in this video alone that you can check to learn how to beat procrastination. I'd recommend watching that after this video.